Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Wixo. We're going to be starting off today's episode with a huge event happening over here between the South Chinese and the Indians. They meet up. Oh, whoops. I am drawing on the straight rats layer. My bad. They start to get close to meeting up. And they're like, "Who are you?" And they're like, "Who are you?" And everyone's like, "First of all, who are you? Answer that first, and then we'll answer who we are." And also, they have like a language barrier as well, so that is also pretty bad for relations between all of them. So, yeah, this is not going well for them. And meanwhile, these guys are doing okay at explaining like what's going on and stuff. And anyway, meanwhile, going back over to China, the rebellions, the rebellion and the these guys actually just took over a ton of Chinese territory, and the Chinese are really crippled at this point. South China starts invading in, and I'm going to turn on major cities and the capitals. So yeah, I gave these guys a capital just to like symbolize their rebellion, like capital. If China ever captured it, and it will probably become their official capital if they win. And now this major city is seized and taken, and China is really worried about the state of their country. As more and more land is lost to the rebels and the South Chinese. China is worried about this. Korea is especially worried. So Korea might have to step in. And anyway, these guys capture a major city, and Korea realizes be the best move to step in now. They invade with this color. And they quickly take this city. Well, the Koreans are no longer like the junior partner. They're more like the only thing keeping China alive is Korea at this point. And Korea is not helping them. And at this point, a Korean landing is made on the coastline, sieging the major city right here and taking it. The Korean Navy is not that strong. None of their forces are that strong, actually, so you might be questioning the strength of China, and you should be doing that. And these two cities are both sieged, and they capture them. And this makes me and a bunch of others, well, mainly their world, think that China is weak. China is not the strong country they presented themselves as when they first came out. And they're actually making, the South Chinese are now making advances in this, and they quickly start coming out. And sorry if there's noise outside. My parents are watching Survivor. See, season 50 finale. Yeah. Well, I'm creating an episode. Yeah. It's 8:44 p.m. at night. And quickly, more and more major cities are getting captured by the South Chinese. And the Chinese are very, very worried about the strength of their nation. That's the amount of strength left in their nation. As China is immediately getting destroyed, and Korea isn't doing much help. They managed to salvage the rest of China. And now we're gonna look at a peace treaty where China gets divided up. Okay, I am back now with a peace treaty where Korea doesn't take much. No. Oh, yeah, and this is going to be a major change, having the Koreans take those out. No, not really. They're not really taking all of that. Now I'm changing. Now, you may notice this line right here. That's going to be the borders of the new independent country that lies here. Now, what about these guys? Simple, they don't take all that. Now, China has a huge empire. Now, yeah, this looks better as Chinese color. The blue and gold contrast so well. Honestly, I think. Okay, I'll be right back. I have to fix something in the treaty. Okay, now I've made my changes to the peace treaty, and let me show you. This is a new independent country. Now we have another huge country I'm struggling to find a color for. When in doubt, make it yellow. Not that much yellow. Great, this doesn't look good. But I'm going to now fix this part of the peace treaty too because these colors are too close together. Now this is this new North tree, and so China now looks like this, becoming the only China. Meanwhile, some expansion is going to be done. While they're spreading the war, they were also putting some of their budget, still putting their budgets also into the expansion program. And they meet up with mountains. Yay. Now they go south. And most of this is going to stay unexplored for now. It's probably going to stay unexplored until next episode. Because it is hard to expand around the coast with my system I'm doing. So yeah, we're having this on a separate layer, though it's better than countries claiming the entire ocean. I'm talking about you, China from last series. That I think was also blue. Yeah. I'm liking the new borders up here in China. They might change them a little, but it's fine. Anyway, there's been more exploration into Europe, but facilitated by the Caucasian country, and it's going pretty well. They explore a lot of territory. And the Asian powers are doing, like, amazed by all this new territory they've just explored. Though they kinda can't, like, do anything with it. And they don't meet up with the secret Orange Team territory in Ukraine right yet. But they're getting close. And they're about to find out that the Orange Team has known about this area for a while. And that's going to be really bad for relations between Mesopotamia and the Orange Team. They're already like North and South Korea, except not like East and West Mesopotamia. They're not like that, but more like Old and New Mesopotamia. Because one used to be considered Mesopotamia and the other just rose up and took its title. Anyway, Europe. No, now there's a straight line on the map. And quickly, these guys like expand inland in Europe. And yeah, the expansion this way is starting to get funded by more and more nations because they're interested in this. Because they're interested in finding someone else they can link up with. Though they haven't found anyone else in this world yet. Like how the world just linked up with the Chinese and stuff. They're hoping to do that again. It was very hostile at the meeting. Like when all these people just like first met. These other civilizations. They're like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Really bad situation. And quickly, this expansion into Europe is going pretty well for everyone. They're going deeper and deeper in till like, they just decide to go north because they like north. Who's the northmost? I can't do that, right? Now, these guys are just confused where all these people went, not knowing that they just left to go north, which they were already working on going north, but a different way. And quickly, this is just like seeming useless. What they're doing is just seeming useless because government's kind of like already working on that, so you weren't needed. Why am I throwing shade at this random exploration group that might, like last time there were in a week, so that there was like a random exploration group like this. It turned out to be the Dutch team. But if you're a Dutch team fan, I'm sorry. I very much might have offended any Brown team fan from Adis Roswick, so I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I was more of a Rome guy. Rome was just like, I just found Rome like a really nice color in Europe that like contrasted the other empires in Europe. Anyway, yeah, sorry for getting distracted. This is not Ada's pro nostalgia time. This is One Ranger Gaming Wixo time. Well, I'm thinking of renaming the channel to One Ranger Mapping. I will do a poll on that, though no one ever responds to the community tab because community tab doesn't just get responded to. And also, Wixo is the 10th subscriber special, if I haven't told you this. Like the 10th subscriber special I was talking about was the first episode of my first attempt was the 10 subscriber special. I think I forgot to mention that in that episode. That I was doing that for the 10 subscriber special, and though I do admit I was probably already gonna do it, but getting the 10 subscriber special done just motivated me even more to get it done. Honestly, I like how my map looks, and over here, these guys run into these guys, and yeah, this map is starting to look pretty good. Except for the expansion. I always hate like how the expansion layer looks, but well, it's not its own layer. I don't see why the expansion would need its own layer, because it's just a part of the wrap. Meanwhile, South China is going to be expanding all the way down to here. As South China wants, you guessed it, more territory, more influence over like this, the old world. As you can look at the power rankings, they're fifth strongest country in the world. So they want to make their power more clear to the world that hey, we're the fifth strongest country. Respect it. Oh, and China's still shown as number 15. I gotta update the power ranking soon. Especially with the exploration in Europe, as there is now a new republic/nation forming up here in Europe. And there's probably going to be a bunch more of these. Oh, oh, whoops. That's why the whole world got colored like that. Because it was coloring on the wrong layer. Whoops, I'm so idiotic. But anyway, back to the video. Besides for the fact I can't do anything right. Quickly, this map is starting to look. For me, anyway, there is a new country popping up again. There's another new one. This time being a Ukrainian country. Yeah, these countries are cool and all. But you know what's cooler? More expansion into Europe. That's right. They expand all the way out to here, which gives room for. No, that is not. Anyway, there is a new country forming up here. Sorry about that beep noise. That was something in the background. I don't know what it was. I think that will look good. And besides, if it doesn't look good on the map, I can just erase it in the next episode. Like, I'm God in the series, basically. I'm basically like this world, their world's God. Like, I can just, if I wanted to, I could just sink Mesopotamia into the bottom of the ocean. Same with, like, China or something. That would be a really bad country to sink into the ocean. Now, a new country is going to be forming up here, too. And this is the final new country in this episode in Europe to be founded. And where's the 1 pixel? There's not a 1 pixel. Try a little darker. Okay, let me try this. Now this country works. And that's our Europe update, as Europe has gotten a lot more explored since last episode. And anyway, Asian exploration update. It's been a while since we covered the Koreas, so doing it now. Korea is getting more and more discovered, as the northern Koreans might just take the south, not like the real life North Koreans, otherwise it might just be a propaganda for North Korean. I might just be North Korean propaganda then. Honestly, I feel like I'm banned from a bunch of countries. Well, probably not yet, but I will be in the future. But no travel list will include one ranger, no traveling to. You cannot travel to Asia, Africa, North and South America. So where can I travel to? Asia, Africa, North and South America, Europe, Australia. Oh, I can still travel to Antarctica. Lovely. I love to meet penguins. I'd love to meet all the penguins there. Yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, now for this for now for this for some more expansion. This time being African expansion. Yeah, there's been a lot of expansion in this episode, not too much war. And keep in mind, war is being negated because of all these alliances over here. You kind of really can't have war, in a sense. Anyway, I gotta mention the dissolution of this alliance. And the Lime team also has kind of started to give up on the blue team because just check the stability layer. They're red stability. So the Lime team leaves the Square Alliance. And this leaves the blue team searching for a new ally. And the blue team finds this new ally. And they've sort of become like a coalition against the Lime team. Oh, whoops, my bad. This is better. So now these guys are in the alliance, and most importantly, there's another country joining this alliance. That's big. That's big what just happened. As the Square Alliance shifted from the Lime Team order to now being ran by the Mesopotamians, and the Lime Team has officially left this order. And the Lime Team is really concerned with this. So the Lime Team takes a step they feel necessary and they actually do something. They create the Arrow Alliance between them Okay, now I'm going back in the shapes and working. Okay, oh my bad, I had an error. Now, this is the new alliance. Then, these guys, and most importantly, their biggest member of all, these guys. You may be thinking, okay, that's not too major. I'm only starting to see like all of this area get enveloped in chaos. Nothing too major, just like your average shenanigans. But this is not too average. As something has happened on the border of the red team and the blue team. A Mesopotamian ship is spotted. Well, on the coast, red team ships are spotted, and upon the borders, the red team and cream team borders are looking a lot more defended. And even the lime team borders are looking defended. What is going on? Well, my friends, I'm going to tell you. I'm adding a new layer. Probably never will be used. Okay, coalitions. So there will be coalitions will be represented by this. And the coalition will be the 6-point star coalition formed between India, the red team, the cream team, the purple team, the lime team, the orange team, most majorly these guys. This coalition and these guys even join, though these guys do not join the coalition, and China is like, oh gosh, and they like try to mediate this. See, hey, stop that! Don't do this! Don't start this war. And these guys do something shocking. They form an anti-coalition. The anti-coalition is going to include them, and it's going to be represented by a right triangle. Cyprus, the Bulgarian Union, two of the most important members being this country and the blue team being on the side of the anti-coalition. This is turning into a coalition versus coalition war. And no, this is not a world war. This is just a huge military coalition. And this war is going to be a huge war. I'm going to make the coalition's layer like this visibility so you can still see the map. Now, the first fighting is going to happen being in between the red team and the blue team. The red team and the blue team are historical enemies, and they're facing off again in the war of the Star Coalition. The Star Coalition. Let me explain why the Star Coalition was founded. Because there was propaganda. Well, there was rumors going around saying that the Mesopotamians were getting ready to take over the rest of the Middle Eastern area. So anyway, a new country forms in the Middle East, calming things down a little. Just as like a side thing, they're just forming over here. Not realizing how bad this is to be to be setting up your government right now. And they changed their color to like this color. They're like a Chinese color, kind of. And now another country is actually going to form. Down here, and that's going to be this country. Honestly, I wanted to form these countries last episode, but I didn't have enough time. Anyway, we're getting back to the war of the coalition, of the Star Coalition. This is a pretty major coalition that's going on right now. And they quickly start increasing their invasion forces, quickly sieging a major city, and this is where the blue team is starting to crumble under pressure. Blue team doesn't last that long under pressure. And they're currently under huge pressure as naval landings are happening on all their coasts. And quickly, the red team is building up nationalism inside their country. They're already a dark red stability. Not a dark red, a dark green stability. But now they're kind of like getting to a point where they're like super ahead of the curve, and they're really, really dark green. Like if you think, well, Cyprus is like dark green, but they don't deserve that spot. Like compared to like these guys, they don't deserve to be colored in dark green. Honestly, I'm gonna color these guys' occupation in a darker color. I kinda like that. I might change the occupation color between episodes. And anyway, this is the 5th episode of the series. Hope you're enjoying it so far. And yeah, I am really enjoying recording it so far. As while I'm recording this, the 2nd episode came out right before I was recording this a couple hours ago. I haven't seen the results of that, but the 1st episode did amazing. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And honestly, a lot of my videos are going to be pre-recorded. It's not because I have like this episode is pre-recorded by a week. Like I'm pre-recording these videos because I really like recording them a lot. And when I can't record them, I wish to be recording them. And sometimes I do get lazy and like just change up the like layers to be easier for me to manage. Quickly over here, the red team's naval and military forces take this city, and immediately they swore of the 6-point Star Coalition, starting to seem hopeless for the blue team, because the blue team is losing this coalition badly. So much so that they're not actually even occupying their colony anymore. They can't even get naval troops to their colony. Instead, they have to focus on here. And, meanwhile, These guys start their invasion into the second strongest country in the world, and they're no pushover, though they're the first strongest, so they make some gains here and there, taking city over, like city after city, just like small cities that are in support of them. And yeah, this cool the war. Next episode, I'm probably going to put civil. I'm going to figure out how to edit the thumbnail and put Civilization War on the title because it's going to be a big war that we're in, just not like a world war because there's not a country from every continent, though. Not every continent's explored. So for them, in this prehistoric time, this classifies as a world war. For them, could classify. But it really doesn't because, like, over here, only the top four strongest countries are involved. Like, see, only this region is involved in this war. So it's just like a regional coalition that happens that to be that the region also has the strongest countries in the world. Though I bet these guys are thinking this war is going to be easier than we thought. But they're definitely wrong as quickly. Lime team generals quickly invade into this country without them even knowing, as there's no record of them ever even staging troops here. They thought they'd be safe, and quickly, no, they're proven wrong. As now this country is like starting to lose territory to this war, and it's quickly not starting to not go well on the southern front. Except every year, so it's kind of like a back and forth, really, between them and the Lime team. Though the anti-coalition isn't as strong as the coalition, so quickly the anti-coalition is starting to have major victories, as here and there they're starting to take more and more territory. And they just roll on through this region. They roll on through all these suburbs, take them. The suburban area. Quickly, this is starting to become a bigger threat to Mesopotamia than you would have thought it to be. As now, they capture another major city and another major city. Logistically, any officer would probably say that Mesopotamia abandoned its currently going advance to go on this new advance. But these guys don't have just any military advisors. They have the best advisors. No, not really. This is probably going to lead to the collapse of the Mesopotamian Empire. Anyway, these guys decide to start settling old beef. And like episodes and episodes ago, like years ago. Quickly, one major city is captured from Cyprus, and Cyprus is not winning the war anymore as quickly. Cyprus is losing its war effort, and yeah. war effort in Cyprus is being lost, and it's not seeming to go good for them. As quickly this country loses another, well, it's getting sieged right now, but it's going to be lost eventually. And Cyprus doesn't want to lose right now, though Cyprus has failed its only job, and that's keeping its mainland safe. Now, an influx of troops from the Orange team are rolling into the Mesopotamian lands, and the Mesopotamians are starting to crumble over here. At least that's because they don't have troops stationed over here, but they should. Because quickly, the Orange team divisions are starting to win this war. And anyway, I think it might be time for some updated power rankings. So I'm going to be stepping away from the war this episode and instead doing power rankings because the old ones aren't accurate anymore. And I'm going to turn off capitals and major cities and go to power ranking layer. Anyway, I'm going to be erasing all the rankings because these rankings are no longer accurate, per se. So first of all is going to be the changing of rankings in the Middle East. The first change is going to be the number 1 country being the Lime team. Number 2 is still Mesopotamia. Now number 3 is India. Number 4 now is South China. Number 5 still is the Red team. The Red team is not declining. In fact, they're still on the rise. Number 6 is actually the Orange team. Now number 7. You may be wondering who number 7 is. Actually, number 7 is going to be this Chinese country. Number 8 is going to be this country. Now number 9 is going to be this country. Now you may be shocked by who number 10 is. Number 10 has gone over to Korea. Number 11 this time is going to go to a different country. 11 goes to a country right here. Number 12 actually goes to these guys. Not 21, 12. 13 is going to be the Bulgarians. 14 is going to be this country. 15 is going to be this country right here. And it is going to leave 16 as the blue team. And yeah, 15 and 16 are not going to do well together as the dynamic duo. 17 still relatively powerful. Am I kidding? They're not powerful. 18. But I feel like these guys would be 18. These guys wouldn't be ranked that low. I'd say 19 would go ahead and go over to these guys. 19 now goes to these guys. The next country is going to be these guys. Where number 20 goes to them. And finally, it's going to be number 21. Oh, shoot. I gotta rearrange the rankings. Okay, I'm going to have number 8 be these guys. No, I'm shifting this. Number 9 is the purple team. Number 10 is Korea. Cool, right? Yeah. They gained economically strong land from China, just this tiny land that was a part of their core. Now, 11 would probably go over to these guys. 12, I feel like, would go to these guys. 13, these guys. 14, these guys. 15, 16, now I'm going to rank these guys as 17th strongest country in the world. Now number 18th is these guys, new country. 19th, and now these guys are 20, kind of just being like, yeah. Now, who's going to be 21 on this ranking? 21 is these guys. They're actually surprisingly weak for their size. 22. 23. The Cyprus is 24, and I joked about how they do nothing, and now they did something. They joined a war. I'm proud of them. In 26, I forgot about these guys, but they do seem like they would be in 26th place, if I had to guess. The only reason they're here in 26th is probably because they're not focusing on their military, they're focusing on economy. But anyway, I'm going to be ending today's video. It's 54 minutes long. I don't want it to go to an hour. So yeah, that was the final event in today's video. The updated power rankings. Now, goodbye everyone. This was an amazing episode, and see you in the next one.